Please try to keep your videos on and your audios off. We are live streaming and recording this meeting. If you wish not to be recorded or live streamed, please let us know in advance. We'll suspend the recording for you, but we will continue to record for the rest of the meeting. Now, handing over the charge to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Mehr Tanvir.
Thank you very much, Acting Sergeant at Arms and founder of WordWise Advanced Toastmaster Club, Distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. I am the acting president today in lieu of Toastmaster Cyril Paul, just because he has come down with a bit of a flu. And it's my great honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 50th meeting, a milestone meeting of WordWise Advanced Toastmasters, which is a theme club, one of only two in District 122, and a pioneering club in its own right. WordWise Advanced Toastmasters Club is unique in the entire community of Toastmasters in that it not only provides a platform for public speaking, for honing your leadership skills, and for honing critical thinking skills, but also it is a magnet for book lovers, writers, and all manners of literature enthusiasts worldwide. We have unique, never-before-seen segments that were introduced by the fabulous ideation team led by distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. WordWise Advanced Toastmasters boasts not only content writing, extempore content writing, but also book reviews, interpretive reading, and several other surprises that you will see along the way. We also have an Act the Word segment where we focus on vocal variety, body language, and delivering scripts and making them come to life. So whether it is plays or dramas or books or writing or any form of reading or any form of fiction, nonfiction, original prose poetry, or reading from any of your favorite authors, you will find like-minded individuals in this club and in this community. Without further ado, I'd like to call upon some of our guests to offer their comments. We have some charter members here with us. Yes, Toastmaster Cyril.
Needless to say, and Mehr would never say it, WordWise also boasts of having a world champion in the video speech category right here, along with us. And that's none other than the acting presiding officer, Toastmaster Mehr. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Cyril. The main highlight there would be to stay, okay, we do take pride in the fact that this club not only survived, but thrived. It was a very challenging year. As founding president of WordWise, I can vouch for the fact it's not easy to run a theme club, an advanced club. I would like to thank all the charter members for believing in the idea and helping us form the club, helping DTM Talha bin Hamid. Of course, he reached out to all of us and he created this wonderful, along with Toastmaster Akash Kumar, as it was a joint collaboration between Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club and Karachi Toastmasters Club. And it's really a very gratifying experience for us to know that we have made it this far. And we have also bagged the highest accolade possible for District 122 in our very first year of creation. So a huge round of applause to all the members for that, because it's the company we keep, I do believe, that where we learn from osmosis. It's like in our tradition, they say that the sohbat really counts, right? So you will find very good sohbat, companionship, the kind of talent that really you want to meet, makes you aspire to meet a certain standard, makes you aspire to want to dig deep and find those stories within that really make a difference. We believe in connection. We believe in connection through writing. I'd like to talk to some of our charter members. Distinguished Toastmaster Azam Ali, you were a charter member, also part of the initial XCOM, and also part of the existing XCOM, currently serving as PQD. Please share your comments with us.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mehr Tanvir. Of course, it is my honor and it's my pleasure to be the part of this club, to be the part as a charter member and the executive committee member of this club. And this is a wonderful club. The segments are amazing. This club open your eyes, open your mouth, mean you can speak more, and most importantly, open your mind. This is great. And as this is a 50th meeting, I, being a part of this club, and this club is a literary club, I wrote some random words, not very well composed, on the 50th meeting. I would like to share those words. These are: if you want to prosper, if you want to rise, if you want to prosper, if you want to rise, don't wait a moment, join WordWise.
Wow.
Inter-
Brilliant. Yeah, okay.
in, interpretive reading to extempore writing, pathway projects to keynote speeches. Quality of all segments make you surprise. Don't wait a moment. Join WordWise. Winning the awards becomes within your reach. Winning the awards becomes within your reach. This club, this is the club of world champion of video speech. Chances are waiting for you beyond the skies. Chances are waiting for you beyond the skies. Don't wait a moment. Join WordWise. Of course, these were for our amazing champion, Mehr Tanvir. And now for a few words for the other members. Ghazala and Sumaya, Zahra and Samreen Mukhtar. Ghazala and Sumaya, Zahra and Samreen Mukhtar. Talha and Cyril, Noor and Akash Kumar. Listening them is amazing. Watching feast for eyes. Don't wait a moment. Join WordWise. Creativity is fruitless. Last words. Last words. Creativity is fruitless if you don't utilize. Creativity is fruitless if you don't utilize. Don't wait a moment. Join WordWise. If you want to prosper, if you want to rise, don't wait a moment. Join WordWise. Thank you, and over to you.
Wow, that was absolutely fabulous. I had no idea you had this surprise in store for us. Thank you so much, DTM Azam. I'm so like floored by this. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing those wonderful sentiments with us. Moving on to a very, very important, another very important member, distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq. Part of the initial team, there was DTM Talha bin Hamid, Toastmaster Urusa Kaval, who came up with the names of several of the segments, Toastmaster Abrar Vani, the distinguished Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq, and myself. So we have been witness to how this has grown. Of course, all the credit goes to the other talented people. Distinguished Master Farooq, would you like to say a few words? All right, I think he stepped away for a while. We have with us our the co-founder of WordWise, Toastmaster Akash Kumar, currently serving as Public Relations Manager for District 122. Would you like to offer a few comments? Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehr. I'm here in WordWise Toastmasters Club after very, very long. And I still remember the date, 7th of October 2022, when DTM Talha proposed. I was a member of 40 members, and DTM Talha proposed 3 clubs: Exhibit 1, Midnight Magic, and WordWise Toastmasters Club. And he proposed Midnight Magic Toastmasters Club in Division C, and I was the Division C director. And I was a bit shaky. And I said, no, I want to have WordWise Toastmasters Club in Division C. And he asked why. I said, because Midnight Magic Club is for, if you are going to ask for Islamabad people, then I guess Midnight Club is not suitable for them. And that's more suitable for Karachi people. Because Karachi is the city of lights, and DTM Tala said nowadays Karachi is the city of load shedding, not lights. So I still remember the day we started discussing that idea, and within 1 month, we were able to have a launch meeting in November. Just 1 month to work on this idea, and we had our launch meeting on 27th November. So it feels like yesterday, because we used to talk a lot, we used to discuss a lot uh, who is going to be the president, how this club will run, what were the segments of this club, and it feels like yesterday. And the most important thing is that it's not it's not difficult to open a new club. It's very difficult to retain a club. And I'm so glad that WordWise Toastmasters Club is having its 50th meeting. And kudos to the leadership of the TM Talha, you, Cyril, who are running the show. And I still miss joining the meetings of WordWise Toastmasters Club. As they say in Urdu, there's a couplet of uh, that दुनिया ने तेरी याद से बेगाना कर दिया, दुनिया ने तेरी याद से बेगाना कर दिया, तुझसे भी दिल फरेब है गम रोजगार के. So I'm been caught up, but surely I'm going to join you very soon, because WordWise Toastmasters is very close to my heart. And congratulations on 50th meeting, and looking forward for many more. Thank you, Mehr.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akash. Thank you for those kind words. Indeed, maintaining a great idea is the real test, where we say that, okay, we have to, make sure that what we had envisioned at the start, it continues. And I must thank all the members who always keep rising to the occasion and coming up with their wonderful talent and presenting so many different aspects and facets of their personality. That really makes this club magical. DTM Farooq is with us. A few words from you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes, I feel honored that I was part of this club since the day first. First keynote was also honored to me, and since then, last 2 years, we are uh, seeing this club setting a new uh, quality records. Every meeting, we feel that there is a different feel of different vibes coming from this club, this meeting. Every time we attend this meeting and we feel that we are doing something, we are contributing towards literature, towards book reading, and we have created this or recreated this habit of book reading again within our club and the people who are attending our meetings. So this is something, our contribution towards the society, towards betterment of the society, that we have reignited the passion of book reading, literature, words, and this is a great thing we are doing. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Farooq. What a pertinent point indeed. And I think that all of us were really mesmerized with this aspect, that it would, in fact, reinvigorate the very important habit of reading amongst people, amongst citizens, amongst the community. And it's with reading that leads to good writing, and good writing that leads to good speaking. So all the three aspects are covered. All right. I'm going to save distinguished Toastmaster Talha's comments for the end, if that's all right, because I know you'll have a lot to say. Yeah? Or would you like to say something now? A preamble.
No, I would absolutely not like to say anything, and let the others speak. Over to you.
Okay, all right. And a very special announcement that we have today's WordWise Inner Circle's birthday girl with us, Toastmaster Samreen Mukhtar's birthday. We would like to take this opportunity to wish our very esteemed member, who is also a district finalist, president of Contour Islamabad, and a very valuable member of WordWise, a very happy birthday, and wish you all the prosperity, blessings, peace, wealth, health, contentment, joy, and everything you can dream of in this new year. Great to have you with us. Right. So, and I think I've spoken quite enough for the 50th meeting. It's a good start. Over to our lovely Toastmaster of the day, who is as lovely as her name, Gul-e-Zehra, the flower of Zehra, the flower of dawn, Toastmaster, Gul-e-Zehra, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Madam President in charge. But our president have his doubts, and he is giving me those smiles on the floral Gul-e-Zehra. Anyways, fellow Toastmasters and guests, welcome to the 50th meeting of WordWise Advanced Toastmasters Club. This milestone represents 50 meetings filled with words, stories, and powers of human connection, and also 50 rich opportunities to share, grow, and connect meaningfully. Our theme today, Moments to Memories and Goals to Dreams, is about life's transformative journey, how fleeting moments grow into cherished memories, and how dreams take shape from small, purposeful steps, just like the chartered members shared in their own words. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. So said Maya Angelou. Moments define us. They are the laughter shared with friends, the quiet determination of setting a goal, and the small victories that brighten our days. For instance, joining the WordWise meeting on time, or being able to deliver a speech without disruption. Over time, these moments becomes the stories we tell, the memories that anchor us during uncertainty, and the fuel that propels us towards our dream. Robert Frost wrote, in 3 words, I can sum up everything I have learned about life. It goes on. But how it goes on is shaped by what we choose to make of moments and goals. I remember the moment when DTM Talha bin Hamid asked me, do you want to get your work published in Crescendo? And it sounded so incredulous to my ears that I stared at the screen, mouth agape, quite dumbstruck, not knowing whom he was talking to. Then Toastmaster Cyril shook me into awareness by stating the obvious. He's talking to you, Toastmaster Gul-e-Zehra. That moment created a cherished memory when I saw my work published for the first time in an official, widely read publication, Crescendo. A memory that held promise for a dream to come true. Dear audience, what about you? Can you think of a small moment, a kind word, or an unexpected opportunity offered at WordWise Advanced Toastmasters Club that turned into a cherished memory or a stepping stone toward a dream? Reflect upon it. 2 or 3 of you can answer about such a memory or a moment that you had at WordWise. Over to you, any one of you. For now, I can only take 2 to 3 answers, please. Any moment or memory that has turned into something cherishable over time at WordWise. Would any one of you like to share such a thing?
My goodness, I'll give it a shot, but I can't give you any one moment or memory because, like you said, every meeting is so special. It's been a delight. I'm going to take credit for pushing Toastmaster Mehr to participate in the ISE, which led her all the way to the World Championship. She was about to take a step back. DTM Talha bin Hamid, I think we do him a disservice by giving him all these sundry roles like Zoom Master and all of that. It's a wealth of learning over there, and this is something which he and I battle with. DTM Azam Ali for all the background support. For most of the members over here, I mean, you need to ask them twice, would you like to take a role? It's usually, they're all ready. I think it's difficult. We thought that this club may have tough times, thematic club and, getting it running and all of that. It's been the smoothest ride. Touch wood, let it continue and let it flourish even more. It's difficult to get just one name, Gul-e-Zehra. Just one moment, Gul-e-Zehra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cyril. We have DTM Talha bin Hamid next with us. Please, sir.
Yes, it was the first meeting and the first time we had a successful Let's Word It segment because it was something weird and out of the blue and never before experimented on, extempore writing. And what emerged from that session gave us goosebumps literally. So that has to be perhaps the most memorable moment for me.
Yes, new beginnings are risky, but they hold a promise of something fulfilling to come along. Thank you for sharing these memories. More on this later. Moving on to our today's segments. Every WordWise meeting proceeds like chapters of a book, starting with a prelude or preface, that's the Odyssey or keynote, delivered by esteemed Toastmasters or on any aspect of language, literature, public speaking, and leadership. Next comes the prepared speeches from the Toastmasters pathways. Then there is interpretive reading segment or a book review. Then it's continued with the extempore writing segment, where we have participants offering a 3 to 5 minute speech on the topic of the day. And then that will lead to general evaluation, and with that, we conclude the meeting. Without further ado, I'd like to invite the role players. First, we have Toastmaster Rabia Tariq, whose smile is heartwarming, and she has been a Toastmaster for 4 years. She is the timer. Can you please tell us about the timings? Guidelines, Toastmaster Rabia Tariq.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gul-e-Zehra. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be keeping a close look on the timing schedule. I'll be showing yellow, green, and red cards on my screen, and it will be changing automatically. So for the first segment, as Toastmaster Zara has already described the timings, I will be the first half at I think 1/4 time it will turn green, yellow, and then half green and yellow. Sorry, it's green, yellow, and then red. And no time, no extra time will be given. Thank you. That's all from my side. Over to you.
Okay, first we'll have green, and then we'll have yellow, and red is the deadline. After red, we usually have 30 seconds as grace time, and then the time will be over. Yeah. So then we have the language evaluator for the day, who is a software engineer, and he resides in Germany. And he is also an avid reader. By now, you must have known who he is. And he studied history and philosophy for passion and also study languages. He is one of the earliest members of WordWise Toastmasters Club and always look forward to learning more in every meeting. He is the language evaluator for the day. So please welcome Toastmaster Noor Malik to give the word of the day as well.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. That introduction was very generous. Hello, everyone. I am Toastmaster Noor. I'll be your language evaluator. For those that do know me, I don't need to introduce myself much or my evaluation method. But those that are hearing me for the first time, I do pay close attention to your grammar and try to suggest at the end things that we can improve in our language usage. Our word of the day today is adventitious. And adventitious means something extraneous, something that comes from the outside. You can use this word, I'll provide the usages in the chat as well. You can use this word either in a sci-fi context, the adventitious species, or you can also use it as an act of surprise. That comment sounds adventitious. It comes from advent, which we all know means to encroach upon or to invade something. With that, I will hand over back to the Toastmaster of the day. I will post in the chat the word and its meaning and its usages. So look forward to a healthy language evaluation today. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noor. Now let's welcome the extempore writing curator to talk more on the segment and present the topics and call the volunteers to participate. DTM Asma Naz, though I don't have her introduction, but I'd like her to introduce herself in her own words, please. DTM Asma Noor. Asma Naz, sorry. Yes, DTM Asma Naz, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible and visible to everyone? Great.
Yes,
Thank you
you are.
so much. I am Vice President membership of WordWise, and I am also serving as President of the Toastmasters Club. I am also serving as Area Director of Area B3, Division B, and It's been a while. I've been attending. I haven't attended the WordWise meeting, but I was trying every time. But I have the office. But today, even if I am at the office, but I thought of not dropping my role. So I have come up with a topic for the extempore writing that I hope will resonate with the theme and the way the meeting is started. So my question will be for the participants will be today. Just a moment. Okay, this is who are the people, who are the people that have made you who you are today? Who are the people that have made you who you are today? So now it's all your choice to whom you want to tell about and how you are today. So now I'll repeat the topic again. Who are the people that have made you who you are today? So any volunteers for this? Noor Malik. I've seen Noor, and who else wants to participate? Azam Ali and Gul-e-Zehra. Okay, okay. So three. Okay. Okay. I was
Sorry,
instructed to take.
so sorry.
Yeah.
I think Toastmaster Rehan also raised her hand.
Yeah. I've seen her, but I was thinking if I can take the fourth one as well or not. I was instructed to have only three.
It's a special meeting
You
today.
can
Right?
take
So it's-
Toastmaster Rehana. I can be the fourth one. If no time, I'll be the fourth one. I can skip out.
Okay.
You can
It's
take
not
her.
a very. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and good afternoon, everyone. I only have to tell you about my story, my journey, because when I saw the theme, that moment of memories and goals to dreams, that it touched my heart. That it is my story. So only I took. I want to take only 1 to 2 minutes, only to share my story, how I
Toastmaster Rehan,
transformed.
so
Yes.
sorry, not now. That comes later.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now, I only want you to allow me, only give me 2 minutes only, even later, even at the end of the meeting. Only I want to share my transformation of who I am today.
Yes, Toastmaster Rihanna, we will
Well-
take you as part of the LWI segment, and we'll listen to your story properly at the end of the meeting with full focus. Yeah. Thank you for participating.
So if I am, I'll repeat the participant's name. That was Azam Ali, Noor Malik, Gul-e-Zehra, and Rehana. We have 4 participants. Word of the day is adventitious. So hopefully our extempore writer will be sharing something interesting today. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Asmanas. Who are the people who have made you who you are today? We have 4 people volunteering in it, and they can come back when the segment comes. So now coming back to the question I left you with, what moment has inspired a cherished memory or become a stepping stone to a dream? As I ask you this, I realize how closely goals and dreams are intertwined. For J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter series, the dream of becoming a celebrated author began as a small goal, writing her stories on napkins, persisting through rejection letters, and crafting one page at a time. In our personal life, this holds true as well. The dream of becoming a confident speaker starts with the goal of delivering that first speech icebreaker. The dream of writing a novel begins with a goal to pen the first sentence. And here at WordWise Advanced Toastmaster, each of us sets smart or small goals to deliver speeches, provide thoughtful evaluations, or participate in extempore writing. Together, these efforts transform into something bigger, a collective dream of becoming exceptional communicators, leaders, and better human beings. Goals give structure to dreams, while memories of moments like today inspire us to keep going. Speaking of inspiration, our first segment is Odyssey. Today's Odyssey is titled The Songs of Distant Earth, The Many Universes of Arthur C. Clarke, and it will be delivered by distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. And does he needs an introduction? And if he does, he has completed all 11 pathways of Pathway Education program, and he is a sci-fi enthusiast, a literature enthusiast. And to cut it short, whenever I listen to him, I wonder, is he quoting from ChatGPT? Is he reading directly from ChatGPT, or has he curated the extempore writing himself? So over to you, DTM Talha bin Hamid. Let's welcome him.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gul-e-Zehra. And I'll like to share my screen for our presentation today and would like your confirmation if my screen is visible. It's visible, right? Okay, just give me a second. Let me also share audio because I'll still try to share the sound when the time comes. All right, everyone, thank you for joining this 50th meeting of WordWise Advanced Toastmasters Club. And thank you, Toastmaster Mehr Tanvir, for giving me the opportunity to be the keynote speaker in this meeting. Although I did not visualize that this would be the 50th meeting keynote, it seems more inclined towards the audience of Quantum Leap than WordWise. But then I realized something, and that is that this person that we are seeing on the screen got me to read books. His collection of short stories is the first book that I recall reading, and the first English book at least. And his influence on my life can only be matched by the influence that he has on the world at large. Arthur C. Clarke, famous British science fiction author who was a prolific writer, a pioneer of so many scientific concepts, and a thinker, a collaborator, even a movie screenplay co-writer. But above all, he was a great humanist and a great visionary. Speaking of ChatGPT, I asked it yesterday to compile this summary of Arthur C. Clarke's career. The idea was to test the depths of its knowledge and how far back it could reach into history. And Toastmaster Gul-e-Zehra, you'd be glad to know that uh, it did not disappoint me. And yes, right now I am reading straight from ChatGPT. Best known for co-writing screenplay for 2001: A Space Odyssey. Arguably, arguably, even today, the most famous and pioneering science fiction movie of all time. Many would not know that the book did not come first. The movie came first, the screenplay came first, and the novel and the series were written later. Proposed the concept of communication satellites in geostationary orbit. What's a geostationary orbit? It's an orbit where an object around the planet is moving at the same speed as its rotation. And that means that effectively, whatever is in a geostationary orbit will be stationary for us because we are spinning with it. And that's all your satellites to this day. That's all your communication satellites, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reason that we are having this meeting. That's the reason we have internet. This was one of the greatest concepts proposed by Arthur C. Clarke, which we saw realized right before our eyes. Authored over 100 novels, short stories, and books, including Childhood's End and Rendezvous with Rama. Awarded the Kalinger Prize for Popular Science Fiction in 1961. He shifted to Sri Lanka in 1956 and resided there till his death in the early 2000s. He was knighted in 1998 and awarded Sri Lanka's highest civil honor, Sri Lanka Vimania, in 2005. Amongst his greatest loves was science, science fiction, and of course, Sri Lanka, because he shifted there in 1956, based so many of his stories in Sri Lankan mythology, and also placed some of his stories on Sri Lanka, albeit in a fictionalized version. This was the first Arthur C. Clarke book that I read. This was the first English book that I read. It's an omnibus. It's a window into the mind of Arthur C. Clarke in easy bite-sized snippets. Unlike many of his peers, he is not pretentious, he is not obtuse, he is not deliberately hard to decipher. His stories can be very simple and very engaging. And that is one thing that leads me to recommend that if you don't read anything else by Clarke, at least pick up this collection and give it a word. The Odyssey series, starting with 2001 A Space Odyssey, which visualized that a monolith appeared on the moon and it had mysterious properties. And to this day, whenever you hear the word monolithic, to reference a building, specifically a rectangular building or a rectangular edifice. That's a reference to 2001: A Space Odyssey, because that uh, that rectangular slab was named the monolith slab. Few would know that this was a whole series. It was followed by three more novels. Uh, Odyssey 2, Odyssey 3, and the final Odyssey. And I'm not very uh, pleased to report that the series was good until the first two novels, and after that, it just deteriorated in quality until the final book was looked and read as if it was just something scribbled out quickly to complete the series. So, not recommended, but the first two books definitely most recommended. It's all about how human race encounters an alien artifact on the moon and its psychological and socio-economic effects. This is one of the most significant stories that I've read from Arthur C. Clarke. It is part of that collection. It was first published in 1968. Pomar is a fictional city, and guess what? Why do I have a matrix image in the background? Because in that city, there are several millionaires and billionaires in a perpetual state of semi-conscious sleep, connected to computers, and they are dreaming about their fantasies. So much so that they don't even know that they're just powering the machine. Their minds are on a tropical island or living an ideal life. So, this gave rise to the concept of virtual reality and living in an alternate space. The 9 billions name of God. This is the story that I read, and it scared me to this day. It is one of the scariest stories that you will ever read. It starts innocently enough. There's a Tibetan monastery and it orders an IBM mainframe. The story is told from the perspective of an IBM computer engineer, and he, along with his colleagues, goes to Tibet to install this machine for them. Why do they need this machine? Why would a Tibetan monastery need an IBM mainframe machine? The answer is that they wanted to try out every combination of letters and print them out so that, according to their belief, the 9 billion names of God would be printed. Because if you print something for long enough and keep trying random combinations, you would ultimately come up with some coherent words. So they said that this machine will go on and on and on and keep printing. And once the 9 billions of names of God are printed out, the purpose of the universe existence would be complete. You should read the story. Its last line is the stuff of perpetual nightmares. And then we go to Rama, an adventitious spaceship that ventured into the solar system, detected on Earth. It was a 50-mile long cylinder with a diameter of 8 miles. So that means that it was a cylinder big enough to house cities inside it. Humans went to explore it. Rendezvous with Drama was written in 1973. It was the first of the series, and it was actually one of his most celebrated and awarded works. The humans go inside, you can see the visualization of that. They're exploring, there's a sea in the middle or a body of water. Since the cylinder is spinning, they have gravity. And the gravity is ideally matched to humans. But these three people, are the only humans in the 50-mile long cylinder. It is inhabited by other species. So it's an amazing read. It's a spooky read. It will completely mess with your mind. Um, then there were three sequels until, in the end, the whole purpose of why the ship existed and why was it sent to humanity is revealed. Uh, and I find all four books to be an equally compelling read. Yes, at some points they can get tedious. At some points, the whole social aspect takes too much of a precedence over the technical aspect, but I think that's the way it was designed to be. The Because in Rama 3, the Garden of Rama, there's a whole city. People are taken from Earth on a sample basis, and they're chosen to inhabit a city within the cylinder. And they come from different ethnicities, nationalities, mind frames, and backgrounds, and how they interact with each other. It also presents one thing that I think that stands out for me, and I think every parent will identify with that. The protagonist has a difficult daughter, and that difficult daughter remains difficult no matter what they do, because the parents are constantly trying uh, to 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 determine what troubles her, what causes her stubbornness and rebellious streak. Um, and well, yes, that's a major story thread, and that is something that we can all identify with, because maybe many of us have that one child who just goes against everything and everyone, and no matter how polite you are to them, how understanding you are to them, they keep testing your patience. Then there was the Odyssey series, and this was co-written by co-written with Stephen Baxter. And he remains a great sci-fi author in his own right. Now, since this was a co-written piece, it had the flavor of both the writers. This series actually, uh, again, is absolutely amazing in my estimate, because it explores the concept of multiverses and alternate histories. An artifact called I appears at various places in various eras. So, for example, the first I that is appearing is actually in the northwestern frontier province of the British Raj near Peshawar. It's shown there. So, how do the British soldiers there, who included Rudyard Kipling, by the way, deal with it? And how do they interpret it? That's just one of the snippets of time and space that has this I. It appears at various times and places in the universe, and somehow brings all those disparate people and eras together. It's an absolutely incredible piece of imagination. I haven't read anything like it, so again, strongly recommended. I'm just going through some of his writings that have greatly impacted me. The City and the Stars presents the concept of a city run by artificial intelligence in 1956. A Fall of Moondust visualizes space tourism. Moon has been colonized and it is being used to make money by taking tourists there. Does it ring a bell? Childhood's End, another of my favorite novels by Arthur C. Clarke. An alien race has conquered Earth, and it is actually so superior in intellect and technology to humans that humans are not even relevant to it. And that alien race is struggling with not trampling the human race just like we would trample a colony of ants. Can you wrap your head around that concept? How do we think of a colony of termites or ants? We see them as just mere nuisances. So, a sufficiently advanced race would see us as a colony of ants. And uh, it explores how the human society will evolve if it is overseen by uh, such a powerful being or such a powerful set of beings that they're indistinguishable from ancient Roman gods and goddesses. So this is something that actually inspired me to compose an instrumental. No, sorry, this is not the one. It will come later. Imperial Earth is a novel that actually explores the concept of human cloning, but most importantly, what it proposes is that it's useless to clone the body. It's more important to clone the mind, the brain. That intelligence can then live anywhere. It can live in a human body or it can live in a mechanical body, potentially forever. The Fountains of Paradise is a novel set in a thinly veiled, fictionalized version of Sri Lanka, and it visualizes the space elevator where there's a geostationary space station and there's an elevator leading down to Earth. And while it may sound incredulous and ridiculous, it is a very practical idea that has been explored scientifically. It will do away with the needs for rockets, and as long as the elevator uh, can rise up and break gravity as well, the nearer it gets to space, the easier its journey will become. And it also explores the concept of human-built paradises, the paradise built by human beings. And now, can you hear the music? So this is the instrumental I composed after being influenced by this novel, The Songs of Distant Earth. It is perhaps the piece of writing that had the most impact on me because it was actually about colonization of solar system and distant planets. Let me just reduce the volume a bit. Perhaps it got too loud, and I'll share once again. So it is about the realities of interstellar travel and how humanity would live if they were living in planets that are hundreds of light years away from each other and no real-time communication is possible. This science fiction novel is actually hard science fiction. It does not visualize any warp drives or faster than light travel. It sticks to the physical and scientific reality and explores how people of these distant colonies would visit each other because they would evolve and develop differently. A society would be completely rural based on the resources provided by that planet, And another human society could be completely technological, based on the resources provided by their planet. And when they interact with each other, their mindsets and their preferences all collide. So this is a love story between a visitor from a distant colony and a girl who resides in a rural colony like that. And it's an absolutely fantastic piece of fiction. It creates a nostalgia for Earth for some strange reason, even though we are on Earth right now. But the world building is so strong that the original premise of this novel is that Earth has been destroyed due to humanity's misstep and war, and sorry, and now they remember fondly about the Earth that was, and some of them only have the writings by their ancestors, the novels, the books, the movies, to remind them of what the home planet was actually like. When I composed this instrumental, I was thinking about this novel, and only yesterday I learned that this novel inspired a whole album by a composer. So I don't know how or why that could happen. I mean, there is something in this that would inspire the creative spark of creating instrumental. Now, this, the Hammer of God. How many of you have seen or at least heard about the movie Deep Impact? Yes. So this novel is actually the impending asteroid apocalypse, something wishing to hit Earth, and how it would how it would affect the religious and cultural and economic and social fabric of humanity. And it's incredible to read, by the way. It's a major flight of fantasy uh, or speculative fiction. It visualizes that when faced with a threat, some factions of humanity would devolve into complete debauchery and anarchy and Armageddon, and another faction would concentrate on getting their act right, getting along with each other, and harmonizing, so much so that two of the three major world religions unite into one. So it's such an interesting study. And then it also predicts the rise of tycoons. In late 80s, I once read somewhere that one day business tycoons and technology tycoons would be celebrated like actors and singers and sportspersons. And in the early 2000s, that came to life. We all know about Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and others, right? So it also predicts the rise, or at least uh, co-predicts the rise of such figures. Uh, it was optioned by Steven Spielberg for the movie Deep Impact, but ultimately the movie turned out to be so different from the source material that Arthur C. Clarke was not officially credited for this. So, yes, it is based on the same concept, but after that, everything is different. This is something that I read, I think, a few years ago, The Light of Other Days. In this, again co written with Stephen Baxter, a scientific wormhole technology is discovered where you can place a wormhole at any point in space and see what's going on there. So it is the precursor to what we have today, constant surveillance, CCTV cameras. It's even more advanced than that. But most importantly, it can not only see through space, it can see through time. That wormhole could be placed at any point in the past, therefore removing any mysteries, anything undetermined from the past. People went into the past to work out their ancestry, to the origin of their religion, to the origin of their households and families. Everything was open. And while this novel again explores a lot of complex social and scientific themes, uh, it at its center it has someone exactly like Elon Musk, because the tycoon at the center of this novel has invented that technology, and he is virtually controlling the world through that. He is providing access to people based on payments and benefits, and he himself is making a ton of money. So it was written in 2000, and how ominous that was, because after that we saw so many of such tycoons arise. So, in conclusion, we are living in the world that is, at least in part, created by Arthur C. Clarke. And we should all be grateful and respectful to this person simply because not only he invented a lot of advanced scientific concepts, he expanded literature and expression to no end. He was one of the driving forces, along with Asimov, along with Philip K. Dick, which helped to mainstream science fiction and fantasy. And thanks to people like him, we our dominant movie genre is science fiction as well, and science fiction is an integral part of pop culture. So with that, I hand over the charge back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Talha, for delving into Clark's remarkable ability to merge science, storytelling, and dreams of distant world into narratives that expand our minds and hearts. Does anyone have a question? Do we have questions? Yeah, we do have. Toastmaster Cyril has raised his hand. Please, Toastmaster Cyril.
Very quickly, TBH, you find that science fiction is going through a phase, right? The science fiction of 1930s, 1940s, 50s. They used to talk about a beautiful, beautiful future. When everything was, and Star Trek is, Star Trek has given us the communicator, the phones, and everything. But I think it's of late science fiction is dystopian. And today I found someone who's been writing science fiction from 1940s all the way down to 2003 or 2007, like you said. How do you find his writing change? I find that one of them was starkly dystopian, the one about, Big Brother is watching both you as well as the future you. But has the writing style changed?
That's a very interesting question, and yes, I saw that transition myself from a very hopeful vision of the future, albeit his vision also included the constant fear of being conquered by an alien race, a sufficiently advanced alien race, because Arthur C. Clarke happens to think that humanity is inherently stupid and incapable of evolving. That's the undertone of his novels. But the vision used to be hopeful. Even his alien overlords were benevolent for the most part. But yes, in the 90s, especially when he started collaborating with other authors, that's when his tone also changed. And no, I won't call any of his novels outright dystopian, not at least in the same way as, for example, something like The Hunger Games was, right? Uh, but yes, there are some indications that he foresees severe tests for humanities, mostly brought on by its own ill deeds and not by any extraneous force. So that's something very interesting that I have detected. But I still would say that very similar to what you have seen, since I know that you've read Andy Weir. I think Andy Weir is one of the torchbearers of Arthur C. Clarke's writing style, back to the good old days, hard science fiction, but uh, full of harsh realities, but also full of hope. So I think that is I think something that I can term Arthur C. Clarke's bibliography as yes, it foresees tough challenges. It constantly criticizes humanity for its failings, its inability to live with each other, but ultimately it also provides hope.
Okay, we don't have any other questions. Thank you, DTM Talha bin Hamid. Moving on, ChatGPT came much later. People like DTM Talha, Toastmaster Mehr, and Toastmaster Cyril have been writing heartfelt stories and experiences since times bygone, helping humans connect through lasting memories and shared dreams. Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things and steps brought together, said Vincent van Gogh. And with that, we move on to our next segment, that is prepared speech. And we have only one speaker today. She is a guest from Zenith Toastmasters Club, and she is delivering the Level 1, Project 3 of her Pathway Presentation Mastery. Toastmaster Iram Hanan, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti, who is an avid reader and a speaker and language enthusiast and entrepreneur from Mumbai. So I welcome both of you, and please, Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti, explain the project objectives of Toastmaster Iram.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Gul-e-Zehra. The objective of the speaker today is to use vocal variety and body language to enhance the speech. This is the only criteria on which we will be evaluating her. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. Toastmaster Iram, please check your audio and video.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, should I start?
Yeah, please pin the timer. Toastmaster Rabia Tariq is the timer.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
Toastmaster Iram Hanan, the vision and the vault. The vision and the vault. Toastmaster Iram Hanan.
Thank you so much for giving me a chance. And first of all, thank you to the Toastmaster Mehr, who allowed me to participate in the prepared speech session over here. How are you all? Please use microphone to respond throughout the speech.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope everyone is doing well.
First class.
Thank you.
We're all very well.
At Toastmasters, we have members and the guests as well. And I believe we all belong to a profession. So would somebody like to share from which profession you are?
Teaching profession.
Can someone respond, please? Teaching. Anyone else?
It's a French name.
Sorry?
I'm a financial planner by profession.
Financial. Okay. Anyone else? One more.
Chartered accountant.
Great.
I waste time.
So we have the professionals from a diversified background. Or we can say that we have the members and the guests from a diversified range of the profession as well. There is one thing which is quite common among all. And we all face one person in our daily life, specifically in the professional life. Let's have some visuals to identify that for which I'm going to speak about. I hope my screen is shared as well. That person always tries to sit on top of our head. He's the one who pressurizes us all the time. And who micromanages the resources or the team members. It's a time to ask the question from the audience. Can somebody ask who is that person?
I think it is HR manager.
Boss?
HR manager. A little bit closer. Anyone else?
Vice President Education.
No. Anyone else?
Boss?
Exactly. The correct answer is actually the boss. The title of the speech is A Boss or a leader. There are so many traits which they differ. Of course, every trait can't be discussed at this moment, but I just would like to emphasize on one of the traits, which is the vision and the mindset. There is always a person who shouts and who needs work in a 5 minutes interval of time. He always conducts the meeting with the client, and every time he takes the pressure. And without thinking from his brain or memory, he always diverts those pressure to the subordinates. And he disturbs everyone all the time. So regardless of thinking about the processes, the procedures, and even the quality deliverables, he always wants immediate responses. As a result of the immediate responses, he has no vision or a short-term goal. He directly assigns the work to the team members. And when the work is done, he takes the credit. So the mindset is always I. I did this. I achieved the revenue or generated the revenue in the last year. I will do this. He always takes credit. And this personality credit goes to the boss, whose vision is quite low and the mindset is always I. On contrary to this, we have another person who creates the roadmap. He doesn't only have the focus on the human resources, on the revenue, but also focuses on the client and the team members' relationships. He delegates the task to the resources and mutually try to collaborate among the team members. And as a result of this, the team members happily do the job. And when the work is done by the resources, instead of taking the credit for himself and using the I, he always used to say, we did this. And we mutually achieved this target in the last year. So that's all about the differences in between the vision and the mindset of a boss or a leader. There is one activity for the audience. Would you guys like to participate in the questions?
Yes, definitely.
Can I get the responses?
Yeah.
So that's a question from the audience. Let's consider there are the 5 members in a room. And a person has assigned them the task with the timeline of the 1 hour. The team members are continuously working on the task. What happens after an hour? A person entered into the room and asked, is the work done by the team? By nervousness, the team responses no. The person started shouting. And instead of asking the reasons, he just would like to get the answers. Why the work is not done yet. He doesn't want to look into the details. He started shouting. So what do you guys think? What is the characteristic of a person? Somebody would like to respond?
Very definition of a very impatient boss.
Sorry, definition of a?
Boss, to me.
Exactly. So the correct answer is actually the boss. He started shouting. I would like to end this speech with a powerful quote that the decision we make today will definitely shape our future. If you would like to become a boss, you have to follow a boss. And if you would like to become a leader, you have to find the leader and work under his or her mentorship. The choice is yours. Thank you.
Thank
Back
you,
to the Toastmaster.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Iram, for talking about the differences in a leader and boss, about their vision and mindset. Moving on, our next segment is the book review. And for this session, we have a duo of DTM and Toastmaster. The DTM is a CA by profession, a bibliophile, and the strict champion in both English and Urdu, a connoisseur of high-end literature, polyglot whose native language is Sindhi, passion is Urdu, and he dabbles in Arabic as well. And Toastmaster is first international video speech contest winner from Pakistan, math teacher by profession, founding president of WordWise Toastmaster Club, and so much more. But for me, she is the face of kindness. For both of them, I'd say, मैं नाम ना लूं तो भी लोग पहचाने, मैं नाम ना लूं तो भी लोग पहचाने कि आप अपना तारुफ हवा बहार की है. Let's welcome DTM Mohammed Farooq for the book review and Toastmaster Mehr Tanvir for the English translation afterwards. Over to you, DTM Mohammed Farooq.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gul-e-Zehra. I hope I am audible and visible.
Yes, you are.
Please confirm it's my screen is visible. كنت في الثامنة عشرة من عمري عندما انفتح الحب حولي في عشاة سهرية ولمس نفسي أول مرة بأسامه النارية وكانت سلمى كرامة المرة الأولى التي أيقظت روحي لمحاسنها ومشت إمامي إلى جنة العواطف العلوية حيث تمر الأيام كالأعراس وتنقضي ليالي كالآراس. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the preamble of the famous book by Khalil Gibran, Al-Ajnihat al-Mutakasira, which is translated in English by Broken Wings and in Urdu, Toote Hue Par. Today I will present a brief review of this book and then I'll get the honor to read a preamble of this book that you heard an Arabic version of it, and then I'll translate it in the Urdu, and Dr. Mehr will help me in English translation. This book was written by Khalil Gibran in 1912. Most of us know Khalil Gibran as he is famous for his quote, but we don't know who really he was. So he was an Arabic philosopher, poet, writer, painter, and he used to write in Arabic and English languages. His famous novel is The Prophet, which is very famous for its quotation, and the second famous is The Broken Wing, which today we'll present. Now, if you see, he belongs to Lebanon. He used to live in Beirut, and then he migrated to US for the various reasons. So if we want to understand this book, we have to go back to that era, 1912, Beirut. Beirut was part of Ottoman Empire. That imperial power was weakening day by day. The First World War was at the edge of the world, and Beirut was highly influenced by French culture. So if you see these all three dynamics and the chaos between the residents of Beirut, you can understand the drawback of this novel. Another good point about this novel is that it modernized Arabic language. Yes, it modernized Arabic language. Arabic prose was considered inferior between the Arab natives, the Arab speakers. They used to think their poetry is much higher, much qualitative way of expressing feelings. They used to consider the prose is the inferior way of expressing your feelings. So Gibran changed this perspective. Gibran introduced a prose version, a prose way of expressing their feelings. So this is one of the characteristics of Gibran, that he blend poetic aspect of Arabic language into prose and present some sort of blend of poetry and prose in his novel that was considered a modernization into Arabic prose. And his style was copied by and followed by so many writers after him. So these are two major, I would say, characteristics to understand this novel. One is the language evolution and the language improvement coming from poetry to prose, and the other one is the political and social era of at that time, 1912. Now, this story is about love, and Gibran belongs to a Christian community, and that time that community was divided into a very serious caste and class division. There was a very between the caste and class, there was a very wall that couldn't be broken. So Gibran was part of one class that was at the one side of the wall, and the lover Salma was at the other side of the wall. So this is also creates a drama or dynamics that how that time within that community, that class and caste system was such a strong that no one could be able to climb over. So these are the three aspects I wanted to know. And when you read this novel in English language, it is, I think, translated by Anthony R. Farooq. And in Urdu, it was translated by Hakim Abdul Habib around 1937 or 38. But when I read the Urdu version of this novel, I couldn't find that it is a translation. It's the beauty of translator that he conveyed the idea into his own language, and then he translated the in a way that you feel that it is actually written in Urdu. So I and Toastmaster Mehr will read this novel para by para. First I'll start in Urdu, and then Toastmaster Mehr will follow in English. So let's start. And one thing more, I wrote this translation in around 3 decades before. So excuse me, my handwriting. इस दास्तान का आगाज मेरे अहद शबाब से होता है। मुझ पर जिंदगी की 18वीं बहार बीत रही थी कि इसकी आखिरी किरणों ने मेरी आंखों की पट खोली और मेरी रूह को अपनी शोला फिशा उंगलियों से छुआ। और सलमा किरामा वो पहली औरत थी जिसने अपने हुस्न जमाल के जादू से मेरी खस्ता रूह को बेदार किया। वो मुझे इश्क निशात की जन्नत में ले गई कि जहाँ दिन सपनों की मानिंद गुजरते हैं और आते सुहाग की तरह।
I was 18 years of age when love opened my eyes with its magic rays and touched my spirit for the first time with its fiery fingers. And Selma Karami was the first woman who awakened my spirit with her beauty and led me into the garden of high affection, where days pass like dreams and nights like weddings.
सलमा किरामी ही वो पहली औरत थी जिसने मुझे वो दर्स दिया जिसे लोग हुस्न की इबादत का नाम देते हैं। वो खुद भी हुस्न और आने का ऐसा मुजस्मा थी जिसे देखकर बेख्तियार सजदा रेज होना पड़ता है। उसी ने मुझ पर मोहब्बत के राज मुनकशिफ किए। वो पहली मुगन्निया थी जिसके नगमों में जिंदगी अपनी तमाम तर रानाइयों और हलावतों के साथ मेरे कानों में रस घूमती थी। हर नौजवान को अपनी पहली मोहब्बत याद रहती है, और हर कोई उस लम्हा इम्बिसात को गिरफ्त में लाने का आरजूमंद होता है। उस लम्हा इम्बिसात को जो अपनी तमाम तर तलखियों और हलावतों के साथ उसकी जिंदगी को एक अनोखे सुरूर और एक नई लज्जत से आश्ना करता है, और फिर जिंदगी की आखिरी सांसों तक उसके लिए एक पुरअसरार जज्बा बना रहता है। हर नौजवान की जिंदगी में कोई ना कोई सलमा जरूर आती है। शबाब की रुत में वो अचानक ही किसी मोड़ से नमूदार हो जाती है, और उसकी तन्हाइयों में प्यार की एक हलचल से मचा देती है, और उसकी बेकैफ और खामोश रातें प्यार के मद भरे नगमों से गूंजने लगती हैं।
Salma Karami was the one who taught me to worship beauty by the example of her own beauty and revealed to me the secret of love by her affection. She was the one who first sang to me the poetry of real life. Every young man remembers his first love and tries to recapture that strange hour, the memory of which changes his deepest feeling and makes him so happy in spite of all the bitterness of its mystery. In every young man's life, there is a Salma who appears to him suddenly, while in the spring of life, and transforms his solitude into happy moments and fills the silence of his nights with music.
मैं किताबों और सहीफों में महव था कि असरार फितरत और रमूज फितरत को जान सकूं, कि अचानक ही मेरी महवियत एक हनाके के साथ रेजा रेजा हो गई। मोहब्बत सलमा करामी के लबों से नगमा बनकर उभरी और कानों के रास्ते मेरे दिल में उतर गई। मेरी जिंदगी बेकैफ और बेमानी थी, बहिश्त में आदम की तरह, कि अचानक ही सलमा मेरी आंखों के सामने आ गई, और मुझे यूं लगा कि वो एक मुनव्वर सुकून है जिससे रोशनी किरणों की तरह फूट फूट कर बिखर रही है। वो पेकर जियाबार थी, वो मेरे दिल की हवा थी जिसने उसे इसरार और इजाज से लबरेज कर दिया और मुझे इंसान हयात के शऊर बख्शा। सलमा ने अपनी मुकद्दस मोहब्बत के दोष पर बिठाकर मुझे बहिश्त में पहुंचा दिया था, ऐसा बहिश्त जो प्यार की किरणों से मुनव्वर था और इश्क की हलावतों से लबरेज था। लेकिन मुझ बदनसीब पर भी वही बीती जो आदम पर बीती थी। वही शोला फिशा खंजर जिसने आदम का जमीन तक ताक़ुब किया था, उसी ने अपनी चमकती और लरसती हुई ढाल से मुझ पर ऐसा खौफ तारी किया कि मैं बहिश्त से भाग निकली। हालांकि मैंने किसी हुक्म खुदाबंदी से इनकार नहीं किया था, और न ही मेरे लबों ने कजरे ममनूआ का फल चखा था।
I was deeply engrossed in thought and contemplation and seeking to understand the meaning of nature and the revelation of books and scriptures when I heard love whispered into my ears through Selma's lips. My life was a coma, empty like that of Adam's in paradise, when I saw Selma standing before me like a column of light. She was the Eve of my heart, who filled it with secrets and wonders and made me understand the meaning of life. The first Eve led Adam out of paradise by her own will, while Selma made me enter willingly into the paradise of pure love and virtue by her sweetness and love. But what happened to the first man also happened to me, and the fiery word which chased Adam out of paradise was like the one which frightened me by its glittering edge and forced me away from the paradise of my love without having disobeyed any order or tasted the fruit of the forbidden tree.
आज की मुद्दत हुई मेरा यह हसीन ख्वाब रेजा रेजा होकर बिखर चुका है, और इसकी महज यादें ही बाकी हैं। यादें जो गैर मरई परों की तरह मेरे इर्द गिर्द फड़फड़ाती रहती हैं और मेरे दिल को की गहराइयों को रंजो गम से भरती हैं, और आंसू बन बन के मेरी आंखों से टपकती रहती हैं, और मेरी जहरा जमाल सलमा मौत के आगोश में मैंने छोड़ दी। उसकी यादगार मेरा शिकस्ता दिल है, और उसका मज़ार पुरसकून और अथाह खामोशी जो इस मज़ार के महाफिज है, खुदाए कबीर के इस राज का इंकशाफ नहीं कर सकती जो ताबूत की जुल्मत में पोशीदा है। और उन शाखों की सरसराहट कि जिनकी जड़ें मुर्दे को चूस चूस के बढ़ती हैं, असरार नाहक से पर्दा नहीं उठा सकती। लेकिन मेरे क़ल्बे हज़ीं की पुरसोज आहें उस दास्तान को ज़रूर बयान कर सकती हैं, जिसे इश्क, हुस्न और मौत में मिलकर लिखते हैं।
Today, after many years have passed, I have nothing left out of that beautiful dream except painful memories flapping like invisible wings around me, filling the depths of my heart with sorrow and bringing tears to my eyes. And my beloved, beautiful Selma is dead, and nothing is left to commemorate her except my broken heart and tomb surrounded by cypress trees. That tomb and this heart are all that is left to bear witness of Selma. The silence that guards the tomb does not reveal God's secret in the obscurity of the coffin, and the rustling of the branches whose roots suck the body's elements do not tell the mysteries of the grave. But the agonized sighs of my heart announce to the living the drama which love, beauty, and death have performed.
ए मेरे अहद शबाब के रफीक, जब तुम सनोबर के पेड़ों से गिरे हुए उस कब्रिस्तान में से गुजरो तो बराए खुदा दबे पांव अंदर आएंगे कि कहीं तुम्हारे कदमों की आहट यहाँ के सोने वालों को बेआराम न कर दे। और जब तुम सलमा के मज़ार के करीब पहुंचो तो बड़े ही अज़्ज़ो इंकिसार के साथ वहीं ठहर जाओ। फिर उस खुशनसीब मट्टी को सलाम करो जिसमें मेरी सलमा को अपनी आगोश में खुदा रखते हैं, और गहरी आह के साथ खुद से कहो, हाँ यही वो मकाम है कि जहाँ खलील जिब्रान की उम्मीदें और उसके अरमान दफन हैं, और वो समंदरों से परे असीर असीर बनकर जी रहा है। हाँ, ठीक उसी जगह उसकी पुरसरत तह खाक चली गई, यहीं उसके आंसू खुश्क हुए, और इसी मकाम पर वो तबस्सुम से नाआशना हुआ। सलमा के मज़ार के साथ साथ उगे हुए सर्फ के पेड़ों के साथ साथ जिब्रान का गम भी जवान हो गया है, और मज़ार के ऊपर हर रात उसकी रूह सलमा के गम में पानी बढ़ती हुई गिलमिलाती रहती है। सलमा जो कल तक एक दिलकश नगमा थी, आज कहीं खाक एक राज बनकर सो रही है। ए मेरे अहद शबाब के रफीकों, तुम्हें उन दोशीज़ाओं के नाम का वास्ता कि जिन पर तुम्हारे दिल निसार और तुम्हारी रूहें फरीदता हूँ, बराए करम मेरे महबूब सलमा के मज़ार बेकस पर फूलों की चादर ज़रूर चढ़ाते जाने, कि सलमा की कब्र पर बिछे हुए फूल शबनम के उन कतरों की तरह है जो सुख की आंखों से टपक टपक कर पशमुर्दा गुलाब की पत्तियों पर ठहर गए हैं।
O friends of my youth who are scattered in the city of Beirut, when you pass by the cemetery near the pine forest, enter it silently and walk slowly so the tramping of your feet will not disturb the slumber of the dead. And stop humbly by Selma's tomb and greet the earth that encloses her corpse and mention my name with deep sigh and say to yourself, here all the hopes of Gibran, who is living as a prisoner of love beyond the seas, are buried. On this spot he lost his happiness, drained his tears, and forgot his smile. By that tomb grows Gibran's sorrow, together with the cypress trees, and above the tomb his spirit flickers every night commemorating Salma, joining the branches of the trees in sorrowful wailing, mourning and lamenting the going of Salma, who, yesterday, was a beautiful tune on the lips of life, and today is a silent secret in the bosom of the earth. O comrades of my youth, I appeal to you in the names of those virgins whom your hearts have loved, to lay a wreath of flowers on the forsaken tomb of my beloved. For the flowers you lay on Salma's tomb are like falling drops of dew for the eyes of dawn on the leaves of withering rose.
Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you very much, TM Mehr, for accompanying me with this English translation.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Farooq, for inviting me to be part of this beautiful reading this beautiful passage. And I cannot begin to describe the beauty of the Urdu that was written by you. I must emphasize this to the audience members that the Urdu that you all heard was a direct translation by DTM Farooq himself. All praise to you're a connoisseur of language, as they say, of vocabulary, and I can see the passion you have. It's always a treat. It's just something else, otherworldly, to listen to you speak.
Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Sincere thank you to DTM Mohammed Farooq for presenting the beautiful preamble of The Broken Wings by Khalil Gibran, bringing its sense to life with depth and emotion. And a special thanks to Toastmaster Mehr for her translation, helping us connect with wisdom and beauty of this profound work. Your collaboration has made this experience truly memorable. C.S. Lewis once said, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." This reminds us that our dreams aren't constrained by age, circumstances, or even setbacks. I recall a meeting where during the extemporary writing segment, Toastmaster Kumar joined us from a hospital bed. That moment wasn't just participation. It was a powerful testament to courage, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to dreams. It shows us how the most challenging moments can transform into inspiring moments, memories, propelling us closer to our aspirations. And now the time has come for the next segment, that is temporary writing. And for that, let's put our hands together for the curator of the day, DTM Asmanaz. Do we have her with us?
Yes.
Yeah, here it is. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Just give me a moment. I've just come to home and I'm just opening it from where I left. So, the question I asked from our curators, the extempore writers were, who are the people that have made you who you are today? And for that, I would like to invite our first example writer, Noor Malik. Hey, Noor Malik, stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Can everybody hear me just fine? Okay. Who are the people that made me who I am today? How would you describe to somebody what a rose smells like, or what honey tastes like? Can the precise nature of the existence of these abstract qualities ever be explained to somebody who hasn't experienced them? Tolstoy tells us that is not the case. In the epilogue to War and Peace, he opined the criteria of existence to be that of rational and the irrational, or what he termed as the experiential. If I were to describe my existence today, these grounds enable me aptly for the purpose. I would argue that it is the experiences, the experiential existence, that really forms much of a human. If I were to jog the chambers of my memory, I would start with my parents for their love and care, the siblings for their quarrels and fights, my relatives for dropping unannounced at our home, my teachers for their encouragement and wisdom, my school friends for their company, and my neighbors for hammering at the walls in the middle of the night. I do owe my thanks and gratitude to all of them. Allow me, however, to touch a little upon those that don't have names. Perhaps faces are not even those, and mere material and spiritual existence. That one person that crossed the road and I had to slow down the car that I was driving, and I arrived at my destination a few seconds later and experienced something different than what I would have had they not crossed the road at that time, at that place. Or was it that stranger that looked at me for half a second and caught me brooding, inspired me to do something in my life that I otherwise would not have had? It is not entirely adventitious of me To credit these strangers with blurry faces and shadowy existence and evanescent and sparky composition that have shaped me, formed me, one chisel at a time. I would advance my heartfelt gratitude to them all, whoever they are, wherever you are. Thank you for being an important and permanent part of my life. That is all I have. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. How beautifully you have thought and you have written. Oh, I was just listening to it, and when I was thinking about the topic, and I was like, yes, we do exist with the. Uh, we are brought up by who we are surrounded with, but the experiential brought up is also meaningful. So my next speaker is Gul-e-Zehra. Have you prepared for it? Or should I ask Azam Ali?
Ask others first because I'm still in the process of writing it. Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering. Okay, Azam, are you here? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here. Thank you very much. It was a sunny afternoon of 2002 when I was standing in a crowded bus in Karachi. I was exhausted, my body drenched in sweat. I was going back to home after a long day. I had just finished submitted application to various firms in hope of starting my CA training. I moved to Karachi from Lahore for this purpose, and I had the similar bad experience in Lahore. Growing up, I didn't have strong educational background. I was an average student in school, which I think was due to the environment of the government school, where there was a little emphasis on the studies. But as I approached my 20th year, I realized that my prospects were slim. I had no money in my pocket, and my grades were nothing to be proud of. This is a common challenge faced by those in the middle and lower class in our society. Many people experience a rebirth when they face life on their own. At that time, I was not looking for the top positions in any organization. I only wanted to secure a middle management role. Fortunately, after months of effort, my hard work paid off, and one of the big four international firm offered me to join. Once I start working, I travel to the various client organizations for audit and assignments. These were large, successful companies. The environment at the firm and in these organizations changed my mind. That was a time I realized that I have something positive in my personality, which I never felt earlier. And the main contributor to that personality is, of course, my late father. He was an avid reader. And one of the lessons I remember that he told me that don't underestimate your abilities. Today, whatever I am is due to the two reasons. One is the environment of the firm, and second is, of course, my father. So your environment plays a crucial role in your personal and professional growth. As Ilham Iqbal said, वो फरेब खोरदा शाही के पला होकर गसों में उसे क्या खबर कि क्या है राहो रस्म शाहबाज. In our recent training, the trainer shared an insightful thought. He said, if you surrounded yourself with 5 billionaires, you will be the 6th. If you surround yourself with 5 good trainers, you will be the 6th. And if you surround yourself with 5 idiots, God forbid, you will be the 6th. So environment is very important. Life is full of wonderful people. Like I'm grateful to my father, my sister who helped me a lot, my siblings, my friends, many friends. And that's why I also like the WordWise Toastmasters Club, where the environment is wonderful. You learn a lot about the different aspects of the life. So this is all from my side, and back to the Asmanas.
Thank you so much, Azam, for beautifully telling us about how the environment impacts. Because when I first attended the WordWise meeting, I was like, I should be here. And from that day, I'm here. So if any one of you who is not member of WordWise, I'll recommend to join our club. You will definitely have something that you will cherish always. So now our third speaker is Toastmaster Samreen, the birthday girl. Are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So now it's your turn.
BTM Asmanas, I hope that everyone can hear me fine. Okay, good. Here we go. Who am I? It's a question I have asked myself countless times. Strip away my looks, my education, my title, and my achievements. Who am I beneath it all? In seeking an answer, I realized I wanted to become someone of value to the world. This is not my thought. This is what my parents have taught me. I also discovered that every quality that I possess has been borrowed from someone. And I'm nothing of my own. I'm an amalgam of what I have seen, absorbed, and gained from the world around me. My parents taught me to make the best of the resources at hand, and whatever I gained, to share it with others. Early in life, I learned that my competition wasn't with my peers, but it was with myself. The goal was always to be better than myself and then the person that I was yesterday, and to contribute positively to the world around me. Gain education, gain education, gain education, and then teach further. Don't gatekeep anything and share it, and you will see that it will grow. From my brother, I learned resilience. Falling is part of the game. You fail, you cry, you get up, dust yourself, and then you move on. He was the one who always believed in me and my ability to move forward. Don't dwell in your misery. Don't unpack and just sit there. Move on. Books shaped me in ways I never expected, but not through grand philosophies, rather through the pages of Agatha Christie, Harry Potter, and other thrillers and fantasies. It's often said that movies are never as good as the books they are based on, and I agree. It's because our minds weave ideas that are far more intricate and colorful than any film that could ever portray. That's how I fell in love with the art of storytelling. My parents also passed on their love of plants. Each season, new vegetables are sown, and different months were marked for pruning of different plants. No two plants are same. As a teenager, I noticed that while some roses bloomed beautifully, others withered. And it felt unjust that some flowers never got a chance to bloom. Teenager in me wanted justice for all the flowers. Over time, I realized it was never about the flowers. It was about the plant. Roses are perennial. They return each season with fresh blooms, renewed vigor, and unwavering resolve. They don't seek anything in return. They simply share their beauty with the world before resting, ready to come back again. That lesson stayed with me. Humans too can't bloom all the time. We can be perennial. We can take breaks, recharge, come back to share our goodness with the world. And then one fateful day, I joined a WordWise meeting. I sat in awe during the first meeting, watching these beautifully eccentric, literature passionate group of people, and I couldn't help but wonder, who are these wonderfully unconventional, delightfully quirky individuals? They inspired me not only to take pride in nerdiness, but also celebrate it. I have learned that everything around me contributed and shaped me to who I am today. And it is true for every one of us. Each experience, interaction, and influence adds to its unique ingredient into the mix. We gather fragments from our parents, siblings, friends, and even strangers. Like a mosaic, every piece we take from is from the people around us. Thank you.
Wonderful. How wonderfully you have put in every aspect of how you are shaped who you are today. Now, I will request my last speaker, Gul-e-Zehra. Okay?
Yeah,
Gul-e-Zehra.
I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the lessons that 2024 left me with is when we pray, we witness the manifestation of our prayers in form of people we come across, the books we read, the circumstances that develop around us, and the like. To list the people who have made me who I am today would take a lot of reflection and time, because life has really been generous in giving me such people who interacted with me and in the process introduced me to another aspect of my person. But specifically at WordWise Toastmasters Club, I remember the moment I saw the face of kindness that would stay so in my memory for the time to come. She was the one who introduced me to the WordWise. Now, when I text her, I have to stop the long stream of positive affirmations being exchanged with me and I with her by saying, "Bro, we can continue this till eternity, so let's save it for some other time." Without naming her, I have some other names, and I'm treating the speech as kind of a toast to the members and guests here. Toastmaster Sumaya, with her blue jacket in one of our plays, inspired me to get into the role as well. DTM Talha, with his offer in Crescendo, opened up a new horizon for me. All the guests who join from diverse parts of the world only show how true they are to a commitment they have perhaps made to themselves. And in watching them, I can also kind of respect the commitment that I made to myself when I became a member of WordWise Toastmasters Club. As I reflect on the people and moments that have shaped me, I realize that we all are intertwined in this beautiful journey of growth and self-discovery. Because somehow, when we meet a person, both of us are contributing in each other's life. It's not just the one way around. The face of kindness, the words of wisdom, and the opportunities that come our way are all a part of a greater plan that unfolds when we remain open to life's offerings. That's all I was able to write in the short time that you have given me.
That was amazing. Taking the opportunity that we are having the 50th meeting and every single individual who is here is inspired to the WordWise and how this WordWise has impacted us, and the segments, everything is so amazing. And when I joined it, I had the same feelings like everyone. Okay, just a reminder, I thought of in the beginning as well. Is TM Rehana here? TM Rehana? Would you like to share your thoughts about the topic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Yana Siddiqui. Am I audible to you? Okay. I'm a regular member of Ravi Toastmaster in Lahore and currently serving as a VP Education. When I saw your agenda and group and saw that the theme is moments to memory and goals to dreams. It touched my heart. It reminds me all my efforts, all my struggles that have shaped me now, who I am today. So I really want to share my story, my hardships, my struggles. I think moments to memory and goals to dream beautifully encapsulates the journey of life and personal growth. Together, this theme serves as a reminder to balance the present with the future. Am I right? If I talk about my professional and my journey, I started my professional journey as an HR professional in a pharmaceutical factory. I think it was 2013. Yeah. Those 4 years were filled with moments of learning. First of all, I have to explain that why everyone wants to ask a successful people that who are the people that have made you who you are today. Why not you ask that what was the mindset? What was the struggle? What was the hardship that shaped you now who you are today? And I think the main ingredients are your mindset, your struggle, and your hardships that have shaped you now who you are today. So that those 4 years were filled with moments of learning, growth, and challenges that laid the foundation for who I am today. Sorry, I'm not counting my time, please. Each experience became a memory that strengthened my resolve and vision for the future. And for goals to dream, I envisioned a bigger dreams because जैसे कहते हैं कि think big, dream big, बड़ा सोचो बड़ा होगा तुम्हारे. So that is my goal, that I visioned a bigger dream to create something of my own. That dream was to establish a skincare brand that would not only thrive but also earn the trust of people in my city and beyond. Through relentless hard work, I transformed my goals into reality, becoming the CEO of my own brand. Today, I take pride in saying that my brand is not just recognized, but also trusted as the #1 choice of aesthetic clinics in and outside my city. The transformation was not just about professional success, but also personal growth. I have become someone people respect and feel confident collaborating with. This journey taught me that with the perseverance and dedication, moments turn into cherished memories and the dream evolve into inspiring realities. So if I want to mention that the question is, who are the people that have made me who I am today, then I must say that it was my husband. And he's always there whenever I feel or whenever I want someone to believe in me. He believed in me, he believed in me, he trusted in me, and he allowed me to explore myself and to fulfill my dreams of becoming entrepreneur. And thanks to all of you for listening my story. And I would like to thank to my husband for supporting me. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. You gave the review to your husband on, and that's an amazing way to express the gratitude. So while summing up, I would like to share my thought about it. Who am I? The way I am today is every child has something, or I would say every individual has something that if you encourage, you sparkle. When I was a little kid, I was very ambitious and I had to the spark of doing something. So I was pushed by my parents, okay, you can do that. So I did, and I performed in academics very well. So that was academic side. And then when it comes to personal life and development and the strength and confidence, just today in the office, I was telling to my colleague that when I passed my matric, my parents pulled me out from the house and said, deal with it. Whether you are commuting or everything, take your bus yourself, be confident. There is nothing who can stop you. There is no one who can stop you. The confidence they gave you. Then it then it was the choice of professional qualification. Again, my parents, my teachers, everyone supported. But the thing, I had this passion of public speaking. Somehow I was not getting the avenue. I joined Toastmaster. There I saw my seniors, specifically DTM Talha, DTM Zach, DTM Sagir. Those were like up high. And I was thinking, when will I be DTM? Gradually, slowly, there was pandemic. I got the opportunity to learn from worldwide. And then I was starting delivering speeches. I just remember I was just new to the clubs and I was asked to perform as a guest speaker in a club, in a meeting which was 12 hours long. It was somehow a division or area contest involved clubs from India, Saudi, and everyone. The meeting started in the morning, 9 o'clock, and it ended when I was listening to the evaluators. It was 10 o'clock. I was at home. I was listening to them. So those kind of opportunities I got. But somehow I was missing it that, yeah, I am joining the clubs and I'm having everything, but there is something missing. I like to meet with people who have the passion and intellect and everything. So I found WordWise here. Being VP member, it's my duty to tell you about how it is. But literally, everyone has already spoken about how WordWise is. Kudos to everyone. Everyone spoke so well, from Noor to Rehana. Everyone shared so beautifully their thoughts, and I loved it. I'm just wondering why I chose this topic. Thank you so much, and I hand over the charge to Toastmaster of the day, Gul-e-Zehra. Thank you.
Zehra. Can you hear me all? Can you all hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
A big thank you to VP membership, DTM Asmanas, and all the participants who shared their perspective and expressed their gratitude toward the people who have shaped them. I'm gratified to finally introduce the last segment of the day, the journal evaluation, which will be led by none other than the WordWise president. But before I hand it over to him, a few parting words that every small step we take, or every word we speak, and every dream we dare to pursue is part of the larger story we are writing for ourselves. Life's true beauty lies not in grand milestones, but in the quite transformative moments that lead us towards our greatest dreams. And as we continue this journey, let us carry forward the lessons learned, the bonds formed, and the aspirations that drive us. So let's continue to embrace these moments with purpose, turn them into memories, and set goals that move us closer to our dreams. Let's make each one count. Now I hand over the virtual stage to our general evaluator of the day, who is curious and serious, who eats cereal for breakfast and takes us on surreal journeys of imagination, President Wonderful Pun Master, and he always spots this profound smile that I can't even say, why so serious? So over to you, President Toastmaster Cyril Paul.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Now I know how people feel when I crack my bad puns. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, great. This is the final session of any Toastmasters meeting. It's a general evaluation session. And this year I've been outpunned. Yes, indeed, TBH. Yes. This is where we review the entire meeting, and we, I don't say we criticize, we critically evaluate how the meeting went, what was done really well, what could have been done better, and all of that. Yeah, so helping me in my evaluation would be a panel of evaluators. Number one would be a speech evaluator for our for Toastmaster Aram. You guys are chatting with me too much here. Come on, stop messaging me, all of you. So yeah, stop distracting me. Yeah. So let me call upon Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti, who shall be evaluating Toastmaster Aram's speech. And Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti, can you see the timer?
Yes, I can.
Over to you whenever you're ready. TBH, could you just spotlight Toastmaster Aram and Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti?
Toastmaster Sangeeta is evaluating Toastmaster Aram.
Sorry?
Toastmaster Sangeeta is evaluating Toastmaster
Oh,
Aram.
apologies. Oh, I highlighted the wrong.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. And hello to my target speaker, Toastmaster Aram. She today spoke to us about leadership and management. Trust me, books have been written by the likes of Edward de Bono, and they needed pages to tell us what she did in 7 minutes, and quite succinctly and clearly so. The speech was worth a lot of commendations, but I will share a few with you here. Firstly, Toastmaster Aram stood up to deliver the speech, and the project objective was exploring body language and vocal variety. Great move. It is a great move to stand up and expose more of your body to gestures so that the impact is greater. It was a great job done. Again, Toastmaster Aram has the rare art of using pause as well. She knows where a long or a short pause fits well, and she uses it very nicely. She had a good bit of audience interaction. Trust me, it takes courage because anybody can come up with anything to answer you, and you have to be nimble to handle it. She displayed plenty of that courage and did a lot of audience interaction. Leadership and management, shown in stark contrast, also left us with a call to action or what we could take away with it. Having said that, Toastmaster Aram, being the brilliant speaker she is, I have a few recommendations for her. Starting off with audience interaction. Like they say, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. I was left wondering, did we interact too much with the audience? And could it have been limited to just once or maybe 1.5 times? That is a small yes or no question. Secondly, and more importantly, this was a project about body language and vocal variety being explored. So you are the presentation, Toastmaster Aram. Most of it, for the entire speech, it was the presentation that was on my screen and I couldn't see you. So there was no question of me gauging any body language, expression, anything from you. And I would encourage you to make yourself the presentation the next time. Don't use an audiovisual aid and give a speech so that you can explore how body language works, how you can make it work better. As to voice variety, like I said, you have the deadly weapon of pause in your artillery. I would like to add the weapon of tonal quality. Your voice is very beautiful, but your tone remains nearly the same. If you could add anger, anguish, disappointment, wonder in your tones, it will enhance your narrative and it will effortlessly hold audience attention, because every time you change your tone, you reset the attention span, and even Gen Z with shorter attention spans will be hooked onto you. Overall, Toastmaster Aram, I have a small challenge for you because you're an excellent speaker. I would challenge you to try and do this project all over again so that you can have a better impact on your learning as a speaker. Overall, great speech, succinctly delivered, few recommendations here and there. You're a delight, Toastmaster Aram. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, and some very, very valid comments there. Toastmaster, great use of Prezi there. I think it's the first time that I'm seeing Prezi being used in WordWise. Small hitch over there. I think the speaking mic, the video mic was a muted one, and your audio mic was the one that you're speaking to. Rather, the speaking instrument was the speaking screen. Rather, we could not see you at all, as Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti said. I've taken a few photographs of that speech so that you can probably switch your devices so that we get to see you with your body language and your vocal. You have a lovely voice, by the way. I think I'm not sure, Toastmaster Mehr, VP Ed, Samreen Chuptai was the last person that I heard this kind of, the grain in her voice. You have a lovely voice that's really best suited for story narration. So do keep working on it. And Sangeeta Shruti has given you some very good points to keep in mind. All the very best. And we at WordWise, we have something called Act the Word that includes a vocal variety lesson as well. We'll probably get you signed up on that side. Right. On that note, let me call upon the next person. That would be the grammarian. That would be Toastmaster Noor, to tell us how we did in terms of language.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cyril. Before I start, can everybody hear me?
Tibet, you're spotlighting you and Sangeeta. Yes.
So, in general, we all did really well. Of course, I have some corrections. Most of them are improvements. There's a very fine line between them, so I hope it's helpful. I found a lot of very interesting poetic usage of language, mouth agape, deadly weapon of pause in the artillery. It's always a pleasure to listen to these. I was also amused, I should say, that connaisseur was pronounced perfectly by everybody who did say the word. So that's great. Speaking of pronunciations, I know TM the actual Dutch pronunciation, you don't have to do it because the G is pronounced like a G in the Dutch language. So it's Van Gogh, but of course it sounds absurd, so you should just say Van Gogh. It's fine to say that. The G will be too weird. With that, not gatekeep knowledge. I think that was a really interesting use of the word gatekeep. You don't hear it that much, so it's nice. You surround yourself with 5 idiots, you'll be the 6th one. The face of kindness reminded me of visiting museums where you see allegory of certain attributes, which used to be the motif for Renaissance painters and sculptors. They would say allegory of kindness, allegory of beauty, allegory of blah, blah, blah. So the face of kindness was a very nice phrase to encapsulate a lot of meaning. Fresh vigor and unwavering resolve, wonderfully unconventional, delightfully quirky. All of this was amazing language. Another thing I found very interesting was lessons it taught me was lessons it left me with. This was the kind of language that really leaves a mark on me because I think it takes a lot of creativity to rephrase what you already know in so many different ways, but slightly change the meaning. Some improvements, the way the meeting is started, the way the meeting has started. So meeting has already started, so you should use has here. Meeting is started is you're talking generally before the meeting is about to happen or after the meeting is concluded. To whom you want to tell about or is whom you want to tell about. And another interesting thing was diverse versus diversified. Both are adjectives, but diverse you would generally use when you're describing something, right? I have a diverse range of books that I have. Diversified is the adjective used to emphasize the act of diversification. So in our company, we have a diversified range of employees because we ensured diversification, right? So the action needs to be highlighted. In general usage, it would be fine to use both, but diversified versus diverse, normally just stick to diverse. And both were used accurately, actually, in the meeting. I noticed one of the Toastmasters wanted to use diverse, other used diversified. I just wanted to highlight this. One of the biggest mistakes is using a singular after the phrase one of the. It should always be followed by a plural. One of the biggest dreams, one of the craziest friends I have. You're specifying one of something, right? The vision is low. A better phrase was the vision is narrow. You want to emphasize that quality. Always used to say is better expressed frequently used to say. Where there is a little emphasis, where there is little emphasis, that was more appropriate, I believe, which I never felt earlier, which I had never felt earlier, ways I imagined, ways I had imagined, because again, we're talking about things in the past. One last thing before I go would be using words that have a lot of syllables. So comparing the word struggle to perseverance or enclose to encapsulate. You see the way I pronounce them, when there are more syllables in the word, you stress each of them because the word itself actually carries a lot more meaning. And enclose is a very general term, but encapsulate means to turn into a capsule. So when you're trying to use these words, you need to use emphasis correctly so that the right effect is produced on the audience, right? I struggled, I persevered. So now you're talking about a lot of struggle repeated over time. Just some general comments. Sorry for taking too much time, but it was a wonderful meeting, delightfully enjoyable. Too much poetry and a lot of amazing language and a lot to learn from you as well. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, Tosma. I'm really surprised that you managed to do the extempore writing and the what do you call this, the language evaluation with such skill. Thank you so very much. It's a lesson for us. It's something that we must follow. Quickly coming down to the general evaluation session. The meeting started with a 3-minute delay and quickly caught up. I think that's wonderful. Our acting presiding officer Mehr, great job interacting with all the guests. DTM Azam Ali surprised us with a wonderful poem on WordWise as well. Gul-e-Zehra, we must see you a lot more often as a TMOD. I think you did a fantastic job. And I loved all the references that you did, the Maya Angelou and the Robert Frost and C.S. Lewis and all of that. I've got them written down over here. Kudos to our timer Toastmaster Rabia for keeping time meticulously. Usually the projects begin with the timer, being called to present the timing guidelines. But I noticed that despite that not happening, you were quite alert in keeping time the moment that speakers began talking. Great job done. TBH, fabulous keynote as usual. I think, like I mentioned to you on our private chat, I thought we did you a disservice. This was a session that could have gone on for much longer. But yeah, thank you so much. It was quite, I think Arthur C. Clarke is someone that is not really read much, and people should actually read him a lot more. Thank you so much for introducing Arthur C. Clarke to our life. Language evaluator, the word of the day, adventitious. A great job in choosing this unusual word. I'd actually recommend a word that we can actually use a little more conventionally in our conversations, that, it can be used in our everyday speech and yet adds a little more elegance to the conversation, and not people looking at you in askance, like, what did you just say? That kind of, let's probably a word that's a little less, let's say, exotic would probably be helpful for all of us. Interpretive book reading, great teamwork between Toastmaster Mehr and DTM Farooq. It's always great to see the enthusiasm that DTM Farooq puts into the interpretive reading, the PPT and the background and everything. Toastmaster Mehr, when you hold the microphone, your plosives are a little too audible, yeah? Pattern, pine tree, the purr just explodes. And you don't need to hold the mic. You're pretty much audible when you're keeping it near you. So that's fine. DTM Farooq, non-Urdu speaker here, and there are at least a couple of them. I thought you were a little fast in your Urdu narration. Of course, you're dealing with a very familiar audience, but when you're dealing with an international audience, just slow down a little bit so that we can actually appreciate it as you speak and not 3 seconds after you speak. But a job really well done. I don't think there's anything more that I had to add. Wonderful segment. Let's word it. It brings out the best from people. And of course, DTM TBH for being the Zoom master as always. Thank you so much for doing this job with aplomb. On that note, I hand it over back to the TMOD and I request the Zoom master to please, no, we don't have any, we have the polls, right? We have one more poll, don't we? The
Yeah,
best
we
one.
have. Yeah.
Okay. Over to you. Yeah. Over to you, Gul-e-Zehra.
Toastmaster Cyril, I have already concluded my session and yours was supposed to be the last. So now are we, that's why I changed out of my scarf, you know. So,
Right.
so tell
On
me,
that note, over to the acting
anyways,
presiding officer,
so
Toastmaster.
are we having the votes? Are we done with the voting?
Just
one
one
voting has
vote.
been done, and
One
yeah,
remaining.
there's
Right.
one remaining. So
So,
over to you, acting presiding
yes,
officer,
while-
Toastmaster.
Presiding
Mehr.
officer.
Thank you
Yes.
very much, General Evaluator and Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you for executing your roles both with aplomb, as Toastmaster Cyril said. And while our poll counter is generating the latest poll, a few comments from our guests. Toastmaster Aarti, thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to have you again. All right, I think Toastmaster.
Hi,
Yeah.
thank you so much for hosting me. I'm here.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
thank you so much for hosting me again. Sorry, I was just figuring out the controls. Sorry, I was more of a background character today, but I was
No
present in
worries.
the meeting and I absolutely love the vibe here. I love how much gratitude everyone brings in. And I think that's the best part of attending a WordWise meeting. I mean, of course, learning new words and getting your grammar in check is an added
Yeah.
bonus, but your vibe is truly what defines you. So thank you again. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for attending. And we are very fortunate to have these adventitious influences upon our meeting, which are actually adding to the flavor of our vibe. I think I got the hang of it, Noor. All right. Toastmasters Sirijita, lovely to have you, our youngest and most famous keynote speaker.
Oh my God. I think instead of youngest, people should say the most amateur, like whatever they have to follow it up with. But yes, I am so glad I attended this meeting, though I could not turn on my camera or participate as fully as I would have liked to because there was a lot going on in the background. So like I mentioned to Toastmaster Cyril, I was under the invisibility cloaks and could not have shown up. But it was a delightful meeting to have attended, and I'm so glad to have been present at this 50th meeting milestone for the club. And I'm wishing you all so much success and growth and brilliance as you move forward on this journey. And every meeting here is an opportunity to learn by leaps and bounds. And to even be a member in the audience is to gain so much just by listening to people who are presenting. And I'm just very grateful to have been here. And thank you so much to Toastmaster Talab and Hamid for that incredible keynote. I was so drawn into all the works of writer Arthur C. Clarke, and I am definitely going to read them. The poem by Toastmaster Azam was an added cherry on the cake. And almost everything in this meeting, the puns by Toastmaster Gul-e-Zehra, oh my God. So yeah, I loved being here and thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Thank you, Srijita. Thank you. And we look forward to celebrating our 100th anniversary with Toastmaster Aarti and Toastmaster Srijita. We are really confident about that. And we're going to keep pushing on that. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toastmaster Iram, this was your first time performing at WordWise. I know you've been a long-time guest at the WordWise Guest Grove, and it was really a pleasure to have you here as a speaker. Your comments and thoughts.
It was really a wonderful meeting. The words used specifically during the meeting and the points that have been highlighted from the grammarian, I think that was the
Yes.
Toastmaster Iram, we cannot hear you.
The volume is a little bit.
I hope, is it fine now?
Better. Better, yeah. Keep it close to your.
It is fine now?
Yeah, much better, much better.
Is it fine?
Yes, yes, it's much better. Absolutely.
Okay. So the overall meeting quality was quite high. The grammarian role, he really played a significant role and highlighted the few of the words, which is really beneficial if you would like to learn with respect to the grammar and even for the English conversation as well. Overall, the experience is really good, specifically from the president and the Toastmaster Cyril. The overall conversation was quite polite, and it seems like it's not a meeting, it's just a general conversation going on in your family meetings. So it's really like that we are the family members and we are just having the conversation at our home. Overall, the quality is quite good, and for the learning purpose, it's really beneficial. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adam, for those kind comments. And I would concur with you that, yes, indeed, it does feel like a family. And it was the WordWise family that really brought us here to this point. I would like to mention the members who are not here with us today, who were has played a pivotal role in bringing us to this milestone. Toastmaster Amit Dadani, Toastmaster Kathleen Hill, Toastmaster Atifa Saida Atifa, and many others who actively participated in the WordWise meetings and also helped me in finding role players and inviting people to the meeting. We found Toastmaster Cyril Paul, gem of a person, thanks to Toastmaster Amit, and who has been just leading us with light, I would say, and he's taken us to new levels. And thanks to him that we have reached this milestone as well. And it's thanks to Toastmaster Cyril. It's like a series, like a domino effect, that now we have these wonderful souls with us: Toastmaster Aarti, Toastmaster Srijita, Toastmaster Sangeeta, and so many others who have been attracted by the passion that we see in our illustrious president. We absolutely, so many people to thank. Grateful to all the charter members who put in their 2 cents, got the club chartered, district director Zaid, PRM Toastmaster Akash, Toastmaster Jahazeb, Toastmaster Asghar, and I don't want to miss out anyone. But you know who you are, and Toastmaster Arusa, missing her here, and yeah, and it's all, every drop, it makes that ocean, and truly grateful, because I personally really, I don't think I would have been able to accomplish the World Championship if it hadn't been for this club, because it was at this club that I met these special people. It was at this club I met Toastmaster Amit, and who introduced us to Toastmaster Cyril, who mentored me, and who really, propelled me, and really you can say that I was like, I don't think I have the time to do this, but he's like, no, he made me believe in my talent. And then DTM Talha, of course, who just wouldn't take no for an answer, and who invited me to this club in the first place. It's really special. It's something else. We, as Gul-e-Zehra said, we don't sometimes know really what's happening in the larger scheme of things, and every step we take, so long as our intentions are clear and bright and true and pure, we will end up somewhere that also reflects those intentions. I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Sangeeta to share a few words. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for that brilliant evaluation. It was really something to learn from, truly.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehr. Coming from a champion, that's a compliment. And I'm still to get over the reading of Khalil Gibran, and I'm still full of emotion. So I am just going to take a cue from the sobat I have here and say, अब सामने हो आप तो कुछ भी नहीं है याद, वरना हमें आपसे कुछ कहना जरूर था.
Wah wah ji, बहुत जबरदस्त. I mean, everyone's a poet today. It's amazing. We are all poets at heart. Uh, I know the vibe just kinds of falls over you like I don't know, warm hot chocolate. Toastmaster Rehana, a few words from you.
Yes, I really like the meeting, your gathering, and your teamwork. I always your teamwork always inspire me, and I want to join your meeting every time. Whenever I heard about your meeting, whenever I saw your agenda, I wish to join your meeting, but sometimes I missed and I regret it for the long time. But today I tried my best to join this meeting, and I'm really impressed by your. Uh, I'm really impressed by your wonderful words and your new vocabulary. You always introduce me new vocabulary, new words, new sentence, and new phrases. And that's why I love to join again and again and again. Thank you for all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hannah. It's always a pleasure to have you. And another wonderful milestone that I would like to mention here is that this is a very unique collaboration between members from District 98 and members from District 122. And we have had some very unique and rare keynotes here that I think they are an example for the rest of the Toastmasters community and also for the rest of the world. I would even go so far as to say that, I mean, look at the collaboration that District Champion of District 98 encouraged an underdog from District 122 to give it something, give it her all and give it a shot. And she ends up being a world champion. I mean, the District 122 got, this honor from someone across the border, our neighboring country. I think, such a beautiful example, honestly. And this is WordWise that allowed it to happen. No exaggeration there at all. And all right, so before we get too emotional, I would like to part ways and hand over the award ceremony to distinguished Toastmaster Talha, who I'm sure has I will hand over the parting notes, you can say, to distinguished Toastmaster Talha, the founder of WordWise, and also part from my end with the words that Toastmaster Cyril told me when I was in two minds about taking part in the contest or not. And that was, if you have to decide between sitting it out or dancing, I hope you stand up and dance. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehr, for giving me this honor for the parting words. And the first parting word is, of course, the results for the best wordsmith. As predictable, it was hotly contested. Everybody got quite a few votes. And thankfully, since I'm the vote counter, I was not supposed to vote. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to vote for anyone. But today's winner goes to Toastmaster Samreen Mukhtar. Congratulations. And we don't have a voting for best speaker and best evaluator because there were only one. I'm not sure if a speaker qualified, but our evaluator certainly did. So, of course, Sangeeta, you are our best evaluator. And finally, our best major role player today goes by a narrowest of margins to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Cyril. And as for parting words, while Toastmaster Mehr was recapping her journey with WordWise, I was furiously searching in our mutual message thread. And I encountered this message on 1st March of 2022. AOA TM Mehr, need your help and support in this initiative in any capacity that you feel comfortable. And it was, I think it took at that point, Toastmaster Mehr informed me that she was busy with chores and she would get back after some time. And by I think within 3 hours, he was part of the team. I'm still searching for the message where I offered her the presidency. I don't know whether it was through a group or through a person, but and I was very reluctant, by the way, because Toastmaster Mehr was going through a lot professionally and personally at that point in time. Somehow I thought that only Toastmaster Mehr could be the founding president of WordWise, and thankfully, it didn't take her 5 minutes to accept. So, kudos, Toastmaster Mehr, for your support. And see, the president is the face of the club. And if you have a face like that of Toastmaster Mehr, for as the from a brand building perspective, in terms of no, I'm not talking about your physical attributes, by the way. I'm talking about, oh God, this will get worse the more I speak. So I might as well give up. But you know what I mean, okay? So, all right. Um, and then and again, as Toastmaster Mehr mentioned, we had an absolutely amazing team. Some of them are not with us today, by which I mean they're not part of this meeting. So initially, the initial time of this club was envisioned to be uh, 7 p.m. On Sundays, and the vision was to help to settle on a time that was either equally acceptable for everyone or equally painful for everyone around the globe. So it turned out to be the latter, because gradually we had to gravitate towards a time that was more acceptable to more members, and that's how we have this time now. And thanks to that, we initially got quite a few members from North America. One is the lady that you just mentioned. Yes, I'm gradually losing my memory. And there was another lady from Las Vegas, the black lady, right? She, if you recall, she delivered a Kathleen Field. Thank you, Lou. And the other lady, I remember, delivered an absolutely memorable uh, narrative about her hometown uh, in the desert of Nevada. Lydia Norman. Oh, yes, Lydia Norman. And I was so inspired that she ended up featuring as one of the keynote speakers in our annual district conference, all the way live from the USA. So many amazing memories, as I shared a bit earlier too, that we managed to invite and organically attract the second place winner in World Championship of Public Speaking. He came and gave us quite a few tips. As an individual club, I think that is the only instance where we were able to attract. Uh, then again, of course, the people who came together to be charter members from all over the district, and the district director himself, the PQD, uh, uh, Toastmaster Akash Kumar. So absolutely an incredible journey, and every meeting is its own entity. I mean, it goes far above and beyond whatever we have envisioned. So I couldn't be more grateful for that. And I challenge everyone that for some reason the gathering that WordWise brings together, I think that is unparalleled in my opinion. The kind of people that come together for WordWise to participate in the meetings, that is unparalleled. That cannot be matched. I haven't seen such a gathering where Toastmaster Noor Malik, whenever he's playing, for example, Toastmaster Noor Malik, whenever he speaks, right? We saw Toastmaster Samreen Mukhtar speak today. Um, each and every one is a goddamn poet and philosopher. So you won't find that in any club. And I feel so lucky. I feel so incredibly fortunate uh, due to all of that. I think it is really making a difference and a positive difference to our life. Uh, and that is something we should all be grateful for. So over to you, Toastmaster Man.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Talha. What has been said that can I say that has not already been said? I am misty-eyed, as I have already mentioned. And any parting comments, Toastmaster Sumaya? I think you're the only one of our newest members who has not said anything, and will end the meeting with your comments. All right, I think Sumaya might have stepped out. Yes, I think that it would be pertinent to have our president, Cyril Paul, end this milestone meeting with his comments, as I think you might have recovered your vocal cords a bit by now. Over to you, Toastmaster Cyril.
Give him a
Let
choice.
me ask him, why so serious?
It should be.
We are all
It
going
should
to
be
do
a
that now.
choice.
Gigi.
I will tell Toastmaster Gul-e-Zehra I have met Toastmaster Cyril in his other club also. You have avenged us today. We all feel vindicated. He's the guy doing this to all of us all the time. And thank you for being our avenger.
Oh God.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm speechless.
I have a
That
partner in
doesn't.
crime, but I won't name her.
Oh, it's a her, is it? You give me a name. I'll ensure that I will.
I think there are many,
Thank you
many
so much.
volunteers.
Waiting in line to lynch me, right? Yes, I know. Yes, the line is long. We are way beyond time, guys. I think that's something which always gets my goat. Thank you so very much for being part of the 50th meeting. I saw that Toastmaster Samaya suddenly she put a emoji there, so she's back. We'll end the meeting with Toastmaster Samaya's parting words. Over to you, Toastmaster Samaya, if you're there. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
she's not.
pretty
Oh,
much
she's
here.
there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's my phone, when I touch something, it touches something else. So it was great. And it was lovely that I was a part of this. I think I'm overwhelmed and I am full of I think वो कहते हैं the joy that I have in a very short time been able to make mark on people. I got quoted twice, which was quite amazing for me for a very new member, doing nothing and getting out all those things. So it was good. So I feel like वो ऐसे जैसे then I'm going to quote my favorite movie MBBS. भाई ने बोला करने का तो करने का. So I'm going to do things for now.
Right. Great. So भाई ने बोल दिया है करने का. So I think next meeting we'll have your speech, right?
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, the Bhai here is VP Education. The movie she talks about is Munna Bhai MBBS, where Sanjay Dutt is the Bhai. On that note, guys, thank you for all those evil puns that you guys are putting in the chat. It's my pleasure to end this meeting. This meeting is formally over. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart for being part of this very special meeting. Let's hope that we continue moving forward, all of us, and wishing you all the very best in you. Wishing you all the very best in your lives, and let it be a wonderful year ahead for all of us. Thank you so much. Take care, and that's the meeting. Boom.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Feel free to chat. Feel free to sit and chat.
Somebody take screenshot of the chat, please, for later reference.
I think I will save. Yeah, there's an option to save the chat.
Why do you want to create an India-Pak situation, TBH?
No, it won't be that.
No, TBH, it won't be an India-Pak situation.